Hi, everybody. Greetings. Welcome once again to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. And this is me, Oberon, with my weekly show, The Emotional Exchanges, a weekly forecast to indicate what kind of emotional currents, undercurrents, ups and downs, and everything else you will be going through in this next week. And that's for the week of May 14th. Friday till the 20th, next Thursday. So we do this for the signs of the zodiac as they're arranged by their elemental association. But first, we start off with a special collective thought from the Isis Tarot. And I just pull a card randomly and just do that reading, kind of similar to what we do on our regular live streams. So I'm just going to go ahead and randomly say, I like that one. And it's the Rock. Number 9. Number 9. So for this week is a period of concentration and reflection, meditation and study. Listen to wise advice, a time of peace, and spiritual excellence. So that sounds pretty nice for everybody. So I hope that works out. And now we're going to go right on to our reading. And we're going to read first for our air signs. Air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And we're going to do a special focus for them using the Eclipticos Tarot, another Egyptian themed tarot. So I'm just going to shuffle these up real quick for that. My cut. Put them right there. The word of the week, the focus of the week, is premeditation. Air signs should always think exactly about what they want to accomplish in this week ahead. They should plan meticulously. They should look at all the ifs, what's, whys, wherefores, and figure out if their plans will work and plan them accordingly. Okay, so let's get on with the rest of the reading now. And for that, I'm going to use Clive Barrett's Ancient Egypt Tarot, yet another Egyptian tarot. Okay, air signs. What emotional happiness will you find this week? It's the moon reversed. And I think what makes you very happy, air signs, is that maybe now with your intellect and ability to see into things, you will realize what the mystery or what the deception or scandal, the thing that's been going on behind your back, maybe it's an emotional matter, but you're going to figure this out. And this will make you happy because perhaps it really was something you needed to know. The moon always sort of adds a little hint of danger. The idea that maybe, there was something being planned that you really needed to know about. Why does it make you happy? Because now you can use that power of premeditation to figure out what exactly you should do reasonably and well. So then, what will challenge you this week, air signs? Oh dear. maybe it's not all that good after all, because we have the Tower reversed. And I'm thinking the challenge is you have to really work hard at learning the lesson you are meant to learn here, that maybe you have uncovered things and maybe you feel you now have a course of action you can really ruminate, think about, plan, but there still may be something you need to know, more likely a lesson you need to learn. Something is important here, and I'm thinking it all ranges around emotions and thoughts about emotions. So it could very well be that the kind of thing that you thought you were finished with, you are really not finished with at all. So think about that. This is a big challenge for the air signs. Then finally, we're going to ask, what will concern your own loved ones the most this week? Whether they're your actual primary relationships or anything in between, children, co-workers, that kind of thing. And big ooh on the reverse cards for this reading, but we have the reverse Ten of Cups. And I get the feeling like a lot of people that are around you are really feeling like their sense of the loving family, the loving foundation is really being challenged. And I can't help but wonder if it's being challenged by these other cards, your own challenge about a lesson you're not heeding here, and that maybe those around you are feeling really strongly that there's a bereftness going on emotionally. This is really serious. So I'm going to go over it again just real briefly and say that although our focus is about premeditation, about really focusing on the thoughts and ways of doing the right things, we have this challenge here of making sure we're learning the lesson we're supposed to learn about something that's affecting us emotionally, something that we've uncovered that may in fact represent a mystery, a change, a deception. And it's all tied in, I think, possibly to your family, to your sense of your family, blood family or otherwise, and how people are really rolling with the emotional difficulties that this faces. I mean, we're talking about maybe relationships to a number of people really being challenged by whatever that is, whatever we're finding out there. Okay, that's the air signs. So now we're going to go on to the fire signs. Fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And your focus for the week, your word for the week, resurrection. Fire signs, you are really evolving spiritually at this point, especially where it concerns your emotions. You may very well feel that what you have gone through has brought you to a very newer, deeper level of how you love somebody. I think that's what it is, and that you're finding yourself in tune with their spiritual values too. It's really transformative for you because perhaps you've never really been able to feel this way about somebody. So I think this is really pretty much informing you for this week, the idea of some sort of perfect science of the soul. So let's get on with the rest of our reading. And remember that tarot readings are but a snapshot in time, and that legally we are not supposed to be consulting you on your medical, legal, or other problems. You should seek the appropriate person for that. But tarot cards are here to entertain you and to possibly give you a framework of thoughts and questions for which you to examine your own feelings and your own issues in a better light, in a clarified light. All right. What emotional happiness will the fire signs find this week? And you have the Six of Discs, and it's upright. And I think that I wonder how connected it is to the card of resurrection, because although I've wanted to see that in a spiritual sense, the Six of Discs is mostly able to best be seen in the sense of how we really feel about our generosity and about our material wealth and how we can share that with others and how we can help others with that. So I feel like this is what's making us happy this week, is the idea that we really feel, whether it is materially or otherwise, that we can just really magnify generosity to people. It's really important. It makes us feel very good. We're just in a good position for that too. Maybe it's because of that resurrection. Maybe something has really clicked that way. So then what will challenge us this week, fire signs? And what really challenged you, of course, this week is that despite all the material giving, there's something deep within you that you want to give to, and you can't give it exactly the same way. So maybe your challenge is figuring out how you can use that hook, line, sinker kind of thing, pull them in, give them bread, give them food, give them Chinese food, and then give them a lesson for their soul. So I think that's the challenge, is that you are trying to figure out how you can show this wisdom out to others. The hermit always seems to be alone on their own, but really it's because they're preparing themselves to let the cloak unfurl and let the secrets come out, let the wisdom be shared. Okay, finally, what will concern your loved ones the most, especially your dearest loved ones, but even other people you care very much about, your parents, platonic friends, your neighbors, things like that. And we have Judgment again. Wow, this is card 20 again with this card 20. They're both Judgment Resurrection related. That's pretty awesome. So I'm thinking that this ties in your focus with the focus of those around you, only theirs is reversed. And I'm thinking you're now going to have to show more spiritual things here. I mean, that's that hermit there too, The Judgment reverse card is saying that those around you really are experiencing some deep feelings of shallowness or bitterness or regret, or feeling an inability to grow and progress and to be a more complete person. And you are going to have to use your own powers that you are realizing at this time. Maybe the stars are shifting differently for everybody, but I think that between your need to be expressive, generous, and the fact that you really will be challenged by trying to reach people spiritually as well, because they're really going to need it, especially those closest to you. So that's what I have for the fire signs. And now we're going to move on to the water signs. Water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And they have a word of the week. We saw how that worked out last time. The unexpected. Oh, that sounds like a scary old TV show. And there's that Scorpio there too. Oh, gee whiz. Gee willikers, number 27. The unexpected. So I'm thinking the water signs really are going to have some fatefulness happening to them at this point. It could very well be that what we're looking at is unusual encounters that we did not expect, and maybe that are challenging us as much so as the challenging cards that will possibly tell us in the next few moments. But I think that, well, some of the water signs really love a mystery, myself per se. So, forewarned is forearmed, as they say. Let's get on with the rest of our reading now. Water signs. And don't forget to watch Banshees Material Matters on Sundays. Get the keys to success in business, finance, and education with Banshee. Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, water signs. What will be emotionally pleasing, happy, satisfying to you this week? And it's the King of Wands. And I'm thinking that the water signs feel very happy because they have kind of found themselves fulfilled by being the bearers of trust to many people, and that someone's going to say you're like a natural leader, you Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio person. You're my best friend. You're the person I would trust to the ends of the earth. You're the person who's leading the charge in something really new and beneficial to a lot of people. So that's what you're getting from people, and that's what you're feeling for yourself. Excuse me. Now, what will challenge you this weekend is the Nine of Discs, and it's upright. And I think what this is saying is that maybe we're really comfortable on our own with ourselves, enjoying what we have in our lives, not necessarily feeling that we want for anything, or not realizing what it is we could want, just a sense of completeness on a certain level. And why does that challenge us? Well, maybe this is really what we're going for and that we don't really have it yet. Maybe we feel that although there is this, there's nothing else. There's something more spiritual that we're not feeling right now, because this mostly pertains to the physical. So it may be a good question, a good meditation for the water signs this week. The sense of what challenges you is beyond material completion or material satisfaction. So then finally, what's going on with those we care about the most, our loved ones, our bestie bests, all of those kind of people, parents, grandchildren, everybody in between. And it's the Five of Swords, and it's upright. And the Five of Swords is telling us that those around us that we care for are experiencing a dissolution in their situations. Maybe they're experiencing really rough times with people they care about, or with people that they have a stake in, a more or less good relationship. That maybe there's just a feeling that there is too much opposition to their plans, that there are too many people or enough people who want to really handle things roughly, callously, without a care. These are the people that we're thinking about, who need maybe us to be a little bit more considerate of them. Maybe we need to find a way to be a more trusting friend to some of those people. Maybe even feeling that it's time to share a little bit of what we enjoy to some degree, because we all have to deal with the unexpected sometimes. And so it's how we deal with it that really makes our moment. So help others, be kind, try not to be too divisive in this week ahead. There are things going on that maybe are hurtful, but we don't have to add more hurt. Water signs. And that's what I have for you. So now let's go on to the earth signs. Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And their word of the week is rebirth. I like this deck because it has more than one rebirth card. This is actually the last card in the deck, the 78th. They're sort of divided up differently. They're not exactly like major and minor arcana. But the idea, and look, there's the, I forget what they call him, but he's carrying the ka, the little bird thing flying there is carrying the ka, the essence of the spirit. And it's a beautiful card. And I think what it's telling the earth signs is that we have to trust in the principles of things working out, and that the cycle of life is never incomplete. It's always complete, even if we don't think it is. It's just a cycle, and it goes on, and so do we. I know, that was kind of pithy, wasn't it? But that's how I feel about rebirth. So let's get on with the rest of the reading, and I'll let you be on your way. Remember to watch my Goth Tarot on Wednesdays, a very short collective reading to tell us about what are our shadow issues and how we might be able to deal with them. And stay tuned for more too. We have some other ideas about what we're going to be doing with additional broadcast. We may be changing more than a few things besides schedules and times. All right, earth signs. What is emotionally happy for the earth signs? What is pleasing? And it's the Magician, but it's reversed. And I think this is saying that maybe we're happy because we understand that not everything has to go our way, and not everything has to be picture perfect. And that sometimes we also feel too that the magical things in our life just happen, not because we willed them, but maybe because they were meant to be. So then what is surprising or challenging to us? And it's the Emperor reversed. And I think that although we feel that way about things that make us happy, that we're kind of a little bit nonchalant there, but over here, what's challenging is that we are seeking control or autonomy over an area of our life that either we just lost that, or that it has slipped away from us, or that it is gone. We don't have that. And so as the Emperor reversed, we want to find ways to reassert ourselves, to find control, to find ways to make things fluid and move for us, and for us to be in control. So then finally, what will be of concern to those that we care for the most, whether they're our spouses or lovers, children, siblings, co-workers, the boss, neighbors down the street, people you know that you care about but are not necessarily very close to you. And it is the reversed Three of Discs. And I believe that's telling us here that what concerns these guys maybe is the idea that they don't feel valued enough, that they feel that maybe specifically undervalued, and that they feel that the kind of things that they've been able to offer have not been received in the way that they thought they would. So some of this could just be grumbling in a way. It could just be too that really they're in a really bad cycle right now where there's too much expected of them, and that there is too much criticalness on them. So these folks need to be helped by maybe being guided to re-examine their processes and to make sure that there are no flaws in what they contribute, that their skills or the other things they do are good, and that they're not, necessarily giving cause to the criticisms that they may be reaching. So in general, though, like I said before, the earth signs feel a great need to furtherance and to just start over, to go into new areas, to bring others into new areas. And we're not very unhappy about the fact that maybe sometimes we don't always get our way, and that maybe sometimes we don't always feel like we got what we tried to get, because sometimes we just get what we need. That sounds like a song. But what is challenging to us, of course, is that we still really do need the control for when it does count So we should not necessarily surrender all of our autonomy. Because we're going to need a little bit of it to help shore up, some of our loved ones' feelings about um, inadequacy and about criticisms against them. So maybe you can be helpful with that, earth signs. And so that's what I have for the earth signs, and therefore that is the end of this reading for the outlook on the emotional exchanges. And I am your charming and disarming host, Oberon, saying thanks for coming and see you soon.